This is Brother Ron, and welcome to We All Be News Radio and TV, the news-free Dixie for the 21st century. Okay, it's an honor to have once again Sister Lena Williams, who is the proud granddaughter of the late great Isadore Banks on We All Be. I can't believe it's been 10 years. You got a grandson that's 10 years old. So I met you 10 years ago over in West Memphis for his Masonic ritual rites, burial rites.
Exactly.
I can't believe the time go by fast. It was October, right? Of 2010. Was it October 2010?
2010. Yeah.
So it's been actually a decade. Wow. And so much has transpired since that time. You know, your grandfather Isadore Bank, he was lynched back in June of 1954 over there in Marion, Crittenden County, West Memphis, Arkansas. Now we know that he was the owner of 3,000 acres of land.
Yes.
And so he was basically killed for his land and other business adventures. How you doing today?
Great. I'm.
Hey, you hear me, Sister Lena? Hello?
I'm here.
Okay, I can hear you. Okay, yeah. So I mean, you say you're doing fine today?
I'm doing great. God is good.
Okay,
I'm blessed.
I said, a lot of things have happened since the decade we met in West Memphis. You provide us some of the updates since that time on the case pertaining to your grandfather?
Some updates. Wow. It's been so much. Well, we found out a lot about what happened as far as the involvement of the people that was involved. And unfortunately, it was a coup d'etat, if you will. You had the blacks, whites, and Italians that was involved in it, and it hurt so bad, to know that it was blacks that contributed, and there were women as well. It wasn't just men. There was at least 2 women involved, and that interstate, the Eisenhower baby with the interstates, that had a lot to do with it as well, because my grandfather was not selling. At the time, he was actually in the process of trying to build a community, if you will, a black community like Wall Street, and it was going to be in Sunset. Unfortunately, they wanted that land for the freeway, but he had other plans, and he wanted it. Get over here, please. He wanted it to be, built by, the black people in the community, but they really wanted that land for I-55 to come through it. He wasn't selling.
So at that time, the government could do like eminent domain, where they just take your land and give you market value for it. They couldn't do it back then to Isadore Banks. Just seize this land. Do
Mic is muted. It's like I can't hear you very well.
Can you hear me now?
Not too loud. It's not as loud as it was.
Let's see. Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I
Yeah,
can hear you.
yeah. I was saying that so they couldn't do like that the government could do an eminent domain where they seize his property and give him market value for it
Um,
back then. Are you
Not that
aware?
I know of.
Okay.
Not that I know of. All I know is they killed him.
Mm. And so there was never really an official investigation into what happened to Isadore Banks. I mean, did anybody really investigate any entity?
You know, as I was investigating it, I found out yes, there was a private investigation that went on, but at the same time, it was the NAACP that was coming in to Crendon County, and that was in November of 1954. But there was a letter sent to the NAACP asking them not to come at that time due to the fact that my grandfather was killed and it was still a lot of, commotion and really a lot of heat going on behind it. And they asked that all the names that they have to be private, and they didn't want to give out the names because they were some very prominent names. I'm
Mm-hmm.
on the phone. And I have the letter. I actually have the letter that was sent to them in 1954
Wow.
and the response, and they did not come. They didn't come.
And you,
It was actually 13 black people that were involved, including two women
mm.
that was involved as far as the blacks were concerned. And the
So, mm.
NAACP just basically let it go.
And the sad thing about that is that my understanding, your grandfather was a prominent member of the local NACP, right? A big dues paying member of the NACP in
Hmm.
Crittenden County.
He was excuse me,
Was a big time dues paying member of the NACP in Crittenden County or in Marion.
Marion.
Can you hear me?
You're going in. I can't know.
Let me see.
For some reason, I can't.
I'm gonna try something right quick. Yeah, can you hear me now?
No, it's very dull. It's not.
Yeah, can you hear me?
A lot better. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was saying he was a big time dues paying member of the local NACP up in Crittenden County, right? In
Oh
Marion.
yes, yes he was. Yes he was.
So for them not to even follow through like that is just man, NACP just have a horrible track record when it comes to taking care of their own. For
Tell
history.
me about it.
Yeah, allegedly. But so you said it was
Even
13 black people involved, including two black females.
yeah, yeah it was.
So you know that are their families still in the Crittenden County or Marion
Yes,
area?
yes they are.
So
Yes
they have
sir.
directly prospered from the lynching or the state-sponsored assassination of Isadore Banks.
Yes they did, but unfortunately, I do know that it didn't last long.
Mm-hmm.
When you make a deal with the devil, he comes back to collect. So, but the Italian and the Caucasians, they still are in power there. Very much so in power there, and it's sad. And in my investigations over since October 2009, I have been in the company of these people and at least four have given me like confessions, and it was like maybe anywhere from 4 to 6 months later they were dead, and it's all the same that Miss Cassie had to say. Everything Miss Cassie said was like confirmation to what I had already had, and I thank her very much for stepping up the way she did, and being brave the way she did. And right now she's getting a lot of backlash from that, and
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately it's from the black community. And I'm like, this is crazy. Even over the years with me, my biggest problem was my own people telling saying that I'm a fraud and that this is a charade, and how I should just stop this charade. There's nothing in it and nothing. And, and it's crazy.
Yeah, hello.
I'm here.
Yeah, you talking? You mean your people? You mean like your family, blood relatives, giving you the?
A lot of them are people that say that they're yeah, kin to my grandfather. And I'm like, this is crazy. It's crazy. If anything, I would think they would try and help me.
Mm-hmm.
And instead, I'm getting a lot of unnecessary hurt
Mm.
because I'm too dark to be a part of their family. I'm too dark, and it's not about it's not about them at all, and it's not about me.
Mm-hmm.
It's about my grandfather, Isadore Banks, and that's my focus. My focus is on him. I could care less if anyone accepts me as kin to them. I know who my grandfather is. My mother knows who her dad was. And that's all that matters. And the fact that anyone is stepping up after 50, 60 years of family members, as they say, blood, not doing anything, they should be, I think, happy and would want to help out in any way they could. But that's not the case.
So you said 13 black people were involved, correct, in the killing of your
Yes.
grandfather. So how did they benefit from the killing of your grandfather? What were the benefits of them getting? What did they get out of it?
Well, I know one got his trucking company. Another one got his Black Cat Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Another one got a lot of land. Um, Another one got land. And for the most part, a lot of them didn't have to pay back the monies in which they owed him, because grandfather was not a selfish person. He would help anybody. I mean, anybody he would help, especially the black community, because back then you couldn't get a loan.
Mm-hmm.
And they would say that they were going to the bank, and that would be my grandfather. They would talk about my grandfather, and he would help them so that they could have something, of their own, their land, their business,
Mm-hmm.
to send their children to school. He was a very big on school and education, and he would send them to school, Felix, and he supported all the schools there, and the cotton gin, the first black owned cotton gin, the co-op cotton gin, and they built the cotton gin because they were tired of getting ripped off by
Mm-hmm.
the white cotton gin, and they would go stand in line and stay in line until all the whites were helped first.
Hmm.
And but at their cotton gin, it didn't matter if you were white or black, first come, first serve, and you got treated the same way, And with that cotton gin, that was a big deal. That was a very big deal.
So I mean,
My
like,
grandfather did a
mm-hmm.
lot of things when he was living, and he put his life on the line several times. One family in particular who refused to help us now, brother witnessed a murder by a white man of a young girl, and the white man, they was coming to get him. They was going to kill him, but his father, who was a friend of my grandfather's, asked him to help him get him out of town. So that night, my grandfather, his father, his uncle, all had their shotguns and whatever, and went to the train station. And they got that young man out of there, and he never came back. Never. I say this because I was able to track him down in Chicago. And this is before he got sick.
Mm-hmm.
I talked with him, and he was still very much afraid. And this was in 2012, maybe.
Okay.
And that happened before my grandfather was killed. And he was still very much afraid. And he said he would never go back to Marion. And he told me about it. And I told him that, I would never, ever, tell anybody, where he was or anything. But now he's gone on now. He passed away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on my phone. He passed away. He had a stroke and he couldn't talk, but not too long ago, several months ago, this year, I believe, he passed away. So I feel comfortable with, talking about, what happened with him, and so many, many others that my grandfather helped, and their families are just totally, they're not even coming forward and helping out at all. And they know a lot
Mm-hmm.
of information, but they're not coming. Like Solomon Anthony, he knows very well how my grandfather saved that funeral home, and he's indebted to my grandfather. And he talked to me so bad the other day, I was in tears.
Mm-hmm.
I even taped the conversation,
Mm.
and I almost erased it, because you're this 95-year-old man who, I had respect for, and he talked to me like I was a piece of trash,
Mm.
and told me that he told me that I wasn't no kin to Isadore Banks, and he said that he knew his son Jim Banks, and he knew him very well, and that Jim Banks is a man of this, that, and the other, and how he didn't want me to call him anymore. And he said if he had anything to say, he can talk to Jim Banks. He didn't need to talk to me. I said, okay,
Mhm.
all right, if that's the way you feel about it. I said, but you're going to pay back what you owe. And you know very well what it is. And he says, well, I won't be paying anything to you or whatever. And I'm like, okay, goodbye. So I don't know why, if Mr. Banks is doing what he's doing, why he's trying to sabotage or make it hard for me and getting some things done or answers. I've been going to the NAACP there, and I just couldn't understand why they wouldn't help me out. I know Anthony Holmes there, he's over the NAACP, and I can remember very well when he was first um, voted in or something, and it was it was very chaotic, very hard, and I went
Mhm.
to bat for him because I knew and I know um, Mr. Ford. What did I say? Mr. Ford, who is who was he's retired now over the NAACP in Washington, and I called on his behalf, on Mr. Holmes' behalf. Now, mind you, I didn't know about all the money and everything else that was going on, but I didn't want to go to this other office that they have. I'm like, what happened to my grandfather was in Marion, and if there's one right there in West Memphis, and Mr. Ford told me no, no, we've closed that. But as time went on, it will opened up or whatever. But to come to find out, and just recently found out that Mr. Anthony Holmes, who's over the NAACP there, he too made the statement that I was a fraud and that you couldn't believe nothing that I said. And so now that let me know why I wasn't getting any help from the NAACP there. Um, he's working with Mr. Banks, and that's fine, that's great. But what are you guys doing to get justice for Isadore Banks? What are you doing? I mean, there's nothing except for causing me more pain. I mean, I don't have their money. No, I don't. I never, I didn't. But, and I don't ask them for nothing except for their help or their resources that I didn't get,
Mhm.
but I did get from others. And I thank God for that, because it's not easy, Ron. It's not easy at all, trying to put, you know, two daughters through college, and this here, and you lose a lot. You sacrifice a lot,
Mhm.
a whole lot, and you wind up with nothing, but at the same time, it's for a very good cause. It for as I'm concerned, if I don't wind up with a dime left, So long as my grandfather gets the justice that he deserves, I'm fine because I know God is going to take care of me regardless. It's justice, reformation. It's Arkansas owning up to what they did and did not do for my grandfather. They took away his civil rights. They took away everything. They tried to totally erase him. No, you can't erase a man like Isadore Banks, a man that put his age up just to go to World War One. You know, he put his age up, went to the war, fought for this country. He, I got copies of his pay. He never spent a dime, hardly spent a dime. And when he got out, I believe he went to Fort Hood there. That's what he sent everybody. And he got his money and he started buying land there because I had a Uncle Sam that was already there, and other family members that
You
was
talking about this
already
Arkansas?
there.
So I'm thinking about Fort Hood. I'm thinking about Fort Hood, Texas, not Fort Hood, Texas, but you talking about
Not
Arkansas?
Fort Hood, I'm sorry. It's the one there,
Fort Smith.
Fort Smith. Thank you.
Okay.
Fort Smith.
I mean, okay, yeah.
I apologize.
No, it's all right.
Um,
It's all right. I mean, I'm just trying to.
it's
I mean,
so much
yeah,
to keep in my head.
yeah. But I'm glad you the one keeping the flame going. 'Cause I want to remind people too, which is interesting about your ledge uncle Jim Banks, because your mom was actually put on a truck to St. Louis when she was 4 years old by your grandfather for safe, get her and her mom out of harm's way. And I
Yeah,
know
we
there's a
found the guy that did it. We
yeah.
found the guy.
Is he still around or he passed on?
Unfortunately, he passed away. His name was Leonard Leonard Brown, and
Okay.
I talked to his sons. As a matter of fact, Ray Brown was a star football player here in St. Louis,
Okay.
and Leonard Brown, yes, he was the one that took my mom and her grandmother. My grandmother
Right. Right.
and her
Right.
other siblings on a flatbed truck, and he was told, "I don't care what you do, don't stop this truck till you get to St. Louis."
Hmm.
And he didn't. And I'm thankful, very, very, very thankful for that.
Wow. So and I look at y'all family, and y'all do have resemblance to Isadore Banks. Your mom got his profile and got his head. You know what I'm saying? That's a
Hey, I
recognizable.
told you about that, dude. Lay
Yeah,
off the
yeah.
head.
No, no, it's not.
Lay off the head. You gotta
Distinguished
lay
is
off
the
the
very
head,
no,
man.
it's distinguished though. I mean, it's not. He was a very handsome guy. He had a distinguished profile, and But here's the thing about Jim Banks. Like you showed me some evidence of some weird contradictory information. Like Isadore was married to a woman named Alice who passed away the next year, right? She was a housekeeper
Right, in
after that happened.
55.
Yeah, but his mom claimed that she was in I want to say Chicago from 1953 to 57. And she lived in Champaign, Illinois. So I mean she wasn't even in Arkansas, Jim Banks' mom,
Mm-hmm.
according to her own testimony, her own little
Yeah.
legacy
Well,
page.
yeah, yeah.
I think that's interesting. I mean, is he really the legitimate son of Isadore Banks?
You know, all I do is go on what he says. But according to, I guess, you've seen the thing. I read it too, and
Yeah, kind of weird.
it doesn't add up.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't add up.
They said in her thing, she said Isadore Banks died in 42, or was that 42 of a car accident?
That was 42. Yeah. Yeah. Somewhere in the 40s. Because I remember he stated that his mom married his dad
Yeah.
in the 40s in Las Vegas. And I'm like, what? What Negro was in Las Vegas in the 1940s? You find me one Negro that was in Las Vegas in the 40s, I'm going to tell you you're a liar.
Well, it wasn't the same Vegas as we think of Vegas now. It was a totally
No,
different
it's
Vegas back
not,
then. Yeah.
and I'm not here to, spread mud on nobody or anything like that. It's just that, you know, you bring stuff upon yourself, when you do stuff like that.
Well, yeah,
And
it's something to be scrutinized. I think. I mean, it just like, and also I got to ask you about the podcast series, Unfinished
oh, okay.
Deep South. I mean, were you? I know you were. I heard your voice on a couple of episodes. I mean, how much were you involved in that project, the Unfinished Deep South people?
Very much, a lot, very much. We we were there
Okay.
quite a bit. But for the most part, the information and my investigation work that I had and everything else, they went on, and they took that and just, hey, they did the doggone thing.
So you was pleased with the results of the show of the podcast series?
Excuse me.
Were you pleased with the results of the podcast series of can you hear me?
I'm trying.
Okay. Hello?
People
Can you
keep
hear me?
coming in on my line.
Oh yeah, I
I
know you
apologize for that.
no, you're fine. Can you hear me though? Lena, can you hear me?
I can barely hear you now.
You can barely hear me?
Barely hear you.
Let me see some. Hear me now? Hello? Oh, having a little bit of technical difficulties, but we'll get through this. This too shall pass. You are listening to Brother Ron on We All Be TV. That's news free Dixie for the 21st century. Talking to Sister Lena Williams, who was the granddaughter of the late great Isadore Banks. They lynched the man and stole his land. It's like an update. Been knowing Sister Lena for 10 years now, a full decade. This October, met her doing the Masonic ritual rites for her late great grandfather over there in West Memphis, Arkansas. So we're just trying to play catch up here. And Sister Lena, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah,
It's people are constantly calling, and I'm like, geez,
yeah,
wait a minute, don't.
yeah. I ain't gonna keep you too long, but I like.
Oh, it's all right. It's okay. It's just that when you put it on Do Not Disturb, why come it's still coming through?
Well, you know what? It's Mercury retrograde right now. We're going through Mercury retrograde, so they might explain. A lot
What?
of
Thank you.
technical
Yeah.
difficulties going on in Mercury retrograde, but it is what it is. But so I was asking, were you pleased with the results of the podcast? Were you pleased with it?
I didn't hear you.
I was asking, were you pleased with the results of the podcast series?
Um, I was pleased with the investigative portion of it. I wasn't pleased so much as with the editing of it.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that actually, the reporters, they did an awesome job. They did.
Mm-hmm.
But when it was edited, they edited out a lot of extremely important facts.
Okay.
Um, but other than that, I was happy with it. It's just that the editing I thought could have been a little better. But so long it does what we want it to do, and that's to get the word out about Isadore Banks, I'm fine, because now it's here, and the St. Louis August ran a nice article about it.
Mm-hmm.
That was because they listened to the iPod, so or the podcast, if you will.
Oh yeah,
And,
yeah.
I'm like, wow, okay, and from what I understand, it's flourishing now in New York.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a matter of time and waiting on God, to do what He said He's gonna do. And once you've gone so far, you just stand still, and wait on Him.
I heard that. Boy, well, I mean, in terms of, I know they had a hotline up who Lynch Isadore Banks
Yeah.
over in Arkansas. Do you feel like they follow up on all the leads that came through, or did they do their due diligence in terms of leads?
Um, Most of them was just they weren't really hot leads until Miss Cassie called, and that's the only one that really, really came through. And she came through. Oh my gosh, like a miracle. It was a miracle, and I just thank her and her mom and everybody that encouraged her to come forward. I really do.
So why do you think they didn't follow up on that during the podcast show? Why they didn't feature her?
You know, that's a question you're gonna have to ask them because I don't know. I really don't know. Now I do know the 16-year-old boy that she was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we found out who he was, and you guys have a Roslyn O'Neill there.
Rosalind O'Neal. We can't see your
Yeah.
face, Sister Lena. I can't see your
Oh,
face.
okay. Sorry about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, you're all right.
We have a Roslyn O'Neill there that
Mm-hmm.
she um knew the person, but wouldn't give us the name or anything. But as they were you know going around town asking questions, they found out who he was,
Okay.
and they were able to talk with him. But the man is like in his 80s, and he's afraid. He's very much afraid, and I understand, because he has to live there, and he was the third person Cassie was talking about.
Hello. Can you hear me?
He was the third person, like I said, that Cassie was talking about
Tell me, he was the third person involved in actually killing your grandfather.
in the actual act.
Oh, at
He
16.
No, I'm sorry, he was the witness.
Okay. Okay.
He
Okay.
was the one that was the witness there, but the third person was actually a Mr. Hale, Jimbo Hale,
Okay.
and they all had an what is that, a law firm together, Fogelman, Hill and Rogers, at that
Hmm.
time, and he was the third person.
And is and one of the other people was Sheriff Goodwin. Is that true? Sheriff Goodwin,
Sheriff
Cecil Goodwin.
Goodwin was one. Yes,
And I believe she said she was now Cassie is related to Goodwin, right? That's her cousin.
yes, they're cousins, and they are all intermarried. And I had already found all that out on Ancestor,
Hmm.
and I mean every one of them jokers married in the within each other, and it was one though. It was one that was supposed to marry, but it didn't happen. Why? I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
but it didn't happen. And we found a map of Crendon County from 1950, I believe it was, and we were able to take the information that I had of the land and look at it and see where my grandfather's land was, and it was all the way from Clarksdale
Mm-hmm.
all the way through to the dog track that they have there in West Memphis.
Yeah, Southland Greyhound Park or Southland
Okay,
Casino.
it's a portion of that land is my grandfather's,
Wow.
and the Trail of Tears. Now, Julian Fogelman, he was the one that told me over and over again about where my grandfather's land was
Mm-hmm.
there in Marion. And he said he owned everything from the tracks on Military Road, I believe it is called,
Mm-hmm.
all the way down to an old post office that used to be there. And he said that the Trail of Tears came directly through his land. And I'm like,
Wow.
wow. He says, yes, your grandfather, he had thousands of acres of land. And, but he never told me that he was involved until, I did some more investigating. And me and this man talked quite a bit.
So was it
Quite
his
a bit.
father involved directly? Was it as his father that was involved? That was the prosecutor of the town, or
From what I gathered, Mr. Fogelman, he um he was my grandfather's attorney,
okay,
but he was also, I believe, a prosecuting attorney.
yeah,
And he ruled it that it wasn't, there was no foul play. And I'm like,
no foul play. He got burnt up, and was he? No, no, what
he
was
was
your
shot 3 times.
shot 3 times? Okay,
He was, they attempted to hang him.
yeah.
They blow torched one of his arms off, and they cut off his manhood, and
So that was true. That's confirmed.
oh yes, yes,
Wow. That's what he said. That wasn't a homicide.
that's what he said.
So he did all that to himself.
He did it to himself. I guess he
Jeez. But
drenched himself, and I don't know.
what it reminds me of this year though, where they talking about we want to pass an anti-lynching law in Congress, and you find all these black folks hanging in trees around the country, and they
Yeah.
all just suicide. Like black folks just gonna hang themselves from trees. Now I ain't say we don't
Hey.
kill ourselves. I know people that killed themselves. I had friends, family, but
Hmm.
you just gonna go around and hang ourselves from trees in front of courthouses?
Nah, I think it's in my opinion,
Uh huh.
they're doing this to start a civil war.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
I feel it. It never
They
ended to me.
they're
I
they're
think it
doing
never
these
ended.
lynchings,
Yeah.
and now there's a law against it, I believe.
Supposedly, it's something else going
Yeah,
on, but you know how it
yeah,
goes.
and it also makes me think about little young George Stinney.
Mm-hmm.
And just this year, January, just this year, a female judge, acquitted him,
Mm.
exonerated him after all these years. He
Yeah, I
was just
talked
a
to his
baby.
brother. Yeah, I talked to his younger brother who looks just like him, a spitting image of him, and
Okay,
he still has trauma. You can tell in his
I can
voice,
believe it.
and he was afraid to talk about it for years with his own, kids and stuff. Then I interviewed his cellmate who used to cut his hair right before they sent him to the death house. He lives in New York
Mm,
now. He might have been passed. I don't know if he's still around. But I had a chance to meet him 5 years ago up in Harlem. But I talked to both of them guys, and his cellmate told me something that was interesting. He said, George Stinney told him, I'm gonna hunt you for the rest of your life. He just like, he had this dark sense of
mm,
humor. He had this gallows humor. You know what I'm saying? Like, he knew that he
yeah,
was dying, they're gonna kill him. And but he came through for his friend decades later to write, I guess, on his behalf a character letter about George. And he didn't
yeah,
deserve that. But we got so much tragedy in our history. That I think is a shame that people want to shortchange black people. Like even with your
yeah.
grandfather, this happened 65 years ago. It's not that long. It's not 100 years ago. This was not
No,
400 years ago. And you got folks that have directly benefited from the blood sacrifice, from the lynching, from the state-sponsored assassination of your grandfather. These folks, families are still in power today. They have benefited. They
still in
live off your
power.
grandfather's land. They have
Yes,
benefited. They have stolen generational wealth from your family. They
yes,
stole even the $93,000 out the bank at the time.
yes.
This is
I mean,
ridiculous.
the two churches there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I actually talked to First Baptist, so
Okay.
back in 13.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, they let me know that yes, there was like $8 million that was given to them by Miss Goodwin,
Mm-hmm.
and it was considered blood money. She said, and she didn't want it. She couldn't keep it anymore. And I believe it was $7 million that was given to the Methodist church right there in Marion. And mind you, these churches, everybody that was involved attend these churches. And Fidelity Bank is ground zero.
Mm-hmm.
Ground zero for all the money that goes through there. And if I could just get records from those guys, man, you would just see the monies and the land that is just going, through that bank from these people. And to find out just recently that Senator Ingram privately is not running this year. And I'm like, what?
Hmm.
What happened with that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what's going on with that?
Mm.
And
Wow.
Mr. Fogelman, the mayor, Frank Fogelman, he was supposedly stating that he wasn't going to run, but he was going to do it this one last time. And I asked him and his wife, Julie or Julia, about still profiting off of my family to this day, because now she is a great artist, but for her to draw a picture of my Uncle Plunk sitting on the side of that building like he always did,
Mm-hmm.
and she's selling it and making good money off of it. I'm like, how could you do that?
I mean, how could
And
I mean like I'm trying to figure out how can Cecil Goodwin's widow in good faith, if she really felt guilty, why not give the money back to Isadore Banks' family? Why not give the money back to y'all? She really felt guilty about what her
you
husband
know
and
what?
them.
I don't know. Maybe she didn't know where we were or where they were, or I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But she gave it to the church, and how could a church take it?
That's a good
And she said
question.
it was blood money.
Mm-mm. I mean, she was a
How could they
retired
take
school
it?
teacher, and he's a law enforcement guy. So how did he come up with $8 million? Where did it
Exactly.
come from?
Exactly.
And this is just horrible. This is just I just I don't know, man. I just like I wonder about stuff. I don't know how we can be so forgiving as a people. How much can we take of this type of mess we've been going through? How much can
For,
we endure?
being forgiving is one thing, but forgetting is another.
Yes. Yeah.
You can only go so far.
Yeah.
But black people, for some reason, they have more pleasure in taking each other down
Yeah.
than
Mm-hmm.
than getting together and taking down the whole system,
I
if you
agree.
will.
Yeah.
And until they come together and do something about their past,
Mm-hmm.
until they do something about what's happened to our brothers and sisters in the past, are the ones that prayed for us, the ones that died for us, their blood is in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Until you do something about that, how the heck can you go forward?
Yeah.
You're going to have to give homage and pay due respect to where respect is supposed to be. And my grandfather is one. And I'm not going to sit back and just let my hero, that's my hero. Because if he had not died,
Mm-hmm.
or if he had not sent my mother here, I wouldn't be here today.
Mm-hmm.
So how can I sit down and not do anything about what happened to him? I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not. He deserves this. These people, they killed him, murdered him, and tried to totally erase him from the earth as if he never existed. And that's not going to happen. Now, EJI Oh man, that was momentous.
That's the Equal
How they
Justice Initiative, right?
enshrined my
The
grandfather.
Equal Justice Initiative down in Montgomery. Brian
Yes,
Stevenson. Okay.
yes, and he is one of the names. His is like category to Emmett Till's name,
Wow.
and it's like, okay, he still now he lives, he
Mm,
lives. People are going to see that name and they're going to want to know about that name.
mm-hmm.
And I thank them for doing that. They did more than what Arkansas has ever thought to do.
Mm-hmm.
I have no respect at all for those people there. None. You know, you got people that's, like I said, still living on the land, and they know it.
Mm-hmm.
Even Miss Cassie, like she stated, she's living on the land. And it's crazy how they don't want to do anything about it.
Yeah.
They have family members themselves. People right there today that I talked to, they had family members that were murdered, raped by these white men, Italian men. They have children because their daughters were raped by these men
Mm-hmm.
and have done nothing about it. Nothing. But yet they fight each other. I don't understand that. You're fighting one another when you should be getting together with one another.
Mm.
I don't understand that at all. But that's that old conditioning, from years and years ago.
Yeah.
But I tell you one thing, the generation that's out here now, they ain't having it. They're not having it, and they're showing it.
Mm-hmm.
They're showing it. But you got a lot of people that are in certain positions, if you will, and they're comfortable. They're making a lot of money. They're doing this and doing that, and they don't want to jeopardize that
Right.
by coming forward and saying things that might have their $200,000 a year pension taken away.
Yeah.
But it's just some things you can't put a price on,
Mm-hmm.
and this is one.
Now, I want
This
to ask you the only known photograph of your grandfather is with his daughter Muriel, right? Muriel
Muriel,
Banks,
Morel.
Morel
Hmm.
Banks. You ever had a chance to meet your aunt or
No, I
talk to
never
her?
did. No,
But she
my
acknowledged,
mother did.
but she acknowledged your mom as being her sister, right?
Yeah. Only thing I know is what I'm told. Yeah, my mother met Morel when she was just a baby, a young girl,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't like they had a relationship. No.
But she acknowledged that, hey, this is
Yeah,
my
that's
little
about
sister.
it.
Okay,
It was not a relationship. No.
so Morel, was he the daughter of Alice Banks?
Yes, she was
Eh,
the only child that my grandfather had by his wife. Every child he had other than that were from other women, and that was it. He had, from what I can see, 7 children
Okay.
outside his wife. It could be more, for as I know.
Did he have any interracial children, quote unquote, that you know of?
Yeah,
You did?
the
Okay.
man was hey, come on, woohoo!
But I
Back in
seen the
them
picture.
days,
He
from
was
what
a
I
handsome
done
guy. He was
seen,
a handsome guy. And he had money, so he was like a high value guy. He was
exactly,
a high value man.
and
He was a
according
provider.
to
Yeah.
according to Miss Banks, the name that she took on, Banks, and then
Hmm.
Campbell. I mean, she had 4 children by a married man.
Mm.
I'm like, wow. What
This
does
is
that say?
Jim Banks' mom. You talking about?
Excuse me?
Who is Campbell? Who is the Campbell lady?
Yeah, Willie Mae Banks, or what her name was.
Yeah, that
It
was
was
Jim.
Mr. Jim Banks' mom.
Okay, so she had 4 kids by Isadore.
4, yeah,
That's
supposedly, but
supposed.
according
Yeah, I'm trying to
to,
figure out how. Yeah, I'm looking at that legacy thing. I'm like, I'm confused by everything now.
yeah, I'm like, some ain't adding up here.
Maybe she had Alzheimer's or something.
I doubt it.
But
I
no, he
no.
grew up in Illinois, right? He went to school in Illinois, right?
Yeah,
Jim.
when they left Arkansas, I believe they went to Illinois.
Yeah, it said like from 53 to 57, she was Chicago. I'm saying your
Right,
grandfather got killed in 54, so I'm just like,
right.
but you know
The
what?
dates don't make up.
No, it don't. It doesn't. It doesn't make sense. But is Alice Banks? You know where she's buried at? Alice Banks.
Yeah,
Isadore's
she's right there in the what's that, the 15th or the 5th, right there.
where he's buried at in
Yeah.
that same
Uh-huh.
cemetery. But she's not. She's not near where his body is, right? Is that
No, nobody can find their graves.
and that's what white terrorism does. State sponsored white terrorism. You can't even bury your people properly. Kind of like
Exactly.
this year with COVID, you can't even say goodbye to your people correctly or
No, you
properly.
can't.
It's unfortunate, but I ain't gonna hold you up. But it's so much to just dig through. But I'm glad that we're talking about that. There's being some recognition being shown your grandfather's way, and hopefully people will like solve this case. It's like it's easily solved. It's unofficially solved. It sounds like
It is.
you
It really
put the
is.
pieces
It's just a
together.
matter now of getting justice,
Hmm.
justice for him, and bringing his legacy back to life where it needs to be.
I think you definitely are just a keeper of the flame for his legacy. I'm sure your grandson's going to grow up proud knowing that he's related to somebody like that in his family and related to you as your grandma, as his grandma. You setting a great example for him. That's like
I
what
hope I
Cassie
am.
said. Well, that's
I'm
like
trying to
Cassie
do the
said it with her
best
grandson.
I can do.
Well, you're doing the best. And I think the sad thing about you doing all this work, and it's going to benefit a lot of people that may not deserve it, but they're going to get the benefit from what you have done over the last decade and some
That's
change.
fine. So long as my grandfather gets what's due him, I'll be happy. And I will be. That's been my that's what I've been saying from the beginning. It's not about me.
Hmm.
It's not about them. It's all about getting justice for him. Getting justice for him and putting him back where he belongs and making sure that his legacy goes on.
And from my understanding, he was the man who brought electricity to Crittenden County, right?
Yes, he
But
did.
there's nothing named after him in Crittenden County.
Not a doggone billboard. Man, you can't go get a cockroach that's named after him.
That don't make no sense. I mean, what
Nothing.
about the cotton gin? What happened to the cotton gin? Like, what happened to
Now,
that?
as far as I know, with the cotton gin, there's another family that's been paying taxes on it over there. But I didn't know anything about the cotton gin until I started investigating this. So I don't know what's going on with it.
You don't know if it's operational or not, or just like
It's not operational, no.
okay. But at the time, I mean, like I know what the podcast was saying was a value in the millions in today's money. I guess during the time was the operation.
Hmm.
It was value in the millions. That property, the cotton gin was. It's like
Oh
it was
yeah,
very invaluable. But you
yes,
know
most
what?
definitely.
Your grandfather's story is the real Queen Sugar story. On that Queen Sugar show. You ever saw the show called Queen Sugar on?
No.
It's like you should watch it. It's about this family in Louisiana. They own I guess a sugar plantation or something like that, and they're having the fights with the prosperous white landowners. It's been going on for
Wow.
generations. So remind me what your grandfather went through with the whites in Crittenden County and
I
marriage.
gotta
You might
watch
want
that.
yeah, Queen Sugar. It's about several seasons already. It's
Queen
an
Sugar.
yeah on Oprah's
Okay.
network. Yeah, but you got any closing thoughts or words you want to share, Sister Lena, before we go and let you have your weekend?
Huh?
You have any closing thoughts or words you'd like to share?
Only thing I would like to say is that if there's anybody out there that has family members that have went through what mine have gone through, take the time out and do something about it, because these people paved the way for you. These people put their lives on the line for you. You wouldn't be sitting in your $250,000, $300,000 home and driving your nice cars or with your fine jobs if it wasn't for them.
Mm-hmm.
And for you to sit down on them, shame on you. And I do mean shame on you. Get up. Do something about it. Don't just talk. I'm tired of people talking.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for action. Do something. But know that you got to put God first. Put God first and let Him lead you, guide you, and direct you. And I guarantee you, you will come out victorious. You will.
Thank you,
So long
sister.
as it's about the heart.
Mm-hmm.
And so long as you're true to it, you'll be all right. I'm all right.
Thank you, Sister Lena and the World Girls, and we love you madly. You keep on producing and pushing. And happy belated birthday to your wonderful grandson.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I
God
see.
bless all. God
Uh-huh.
bless.
God
He in the
bless.
background
Yeah,
back there.
I see
Say
he
hi.
waving. Hey, man. Hey,
Hey,
bye.
get on up here.
God
Say
bless, little
hey.
man. Thank you for being patient, man. Thank you for being patient. I appreciate it. I
Yeah,
know it's
he's
hard.
back there eating on them McDonald's.
I know you eat them burgers. I know.
Thank you.
Thank
God be
you.
blessed. And hey, everybody stay safe.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
Later.
Later. And that does it for We All Be. In the words of Duke Ellington family, we love you madly. Keep on producing and pushing. One love. Solidarity.
Hey, everybody, this is Brother Ron. I am asking you all to do me a big favor. Think about supporting the We All Be movement. Your donation is tax deductible. The We All Be Group Incorporated is a recognized 501c3. And I'm just asking you all because I want to keep on bringing y'all quality work through the way that I know how to do best. And I'm going to sing my praises and toot my horn. A lot of y'all were not hip to Dick Gregory until Brother Ron brought him on the We All Be platform, until that jingle review we did. Y'all seen another side of Judge Joe Brown, and Judge Joe Brown's message has been amplified. But it was We All Be that brought Judge Joe Brown to y'all back in 2014. And so many others. And we covered so many things. So help us out so we can help you all. Peace.